3, 2, 1. Look at that. Look at that. Steering wheel. Finally got steering wheel for the M135i, because that was like the most common comment on the first video that I'd done. Everyone was like, Calvin, you've got to get a steering wheel. I didn't plan on getting a steering wheel, but I kind of got offered one and I thought, you know what? I need to sort this situation out. So if anyone knows anyone who retrims these Alcantara, these steering wheels with Alcantara, I know there's a few companies that do it. I've actually had a company contact me, but they've been messing around a little bit. But if anyone knows anyone that can retrim that steering wheel for me, tell them to get in touch with me, because I really want to get it done and I want to get that on the M135i as soon as I can. Now, the reason why you're here is because I'm going to show you this one on screen. It's, flip my screen around. Porsche, that's not the actual car, by the way, that's a different one. I'm just doing some research. The reason why I'm doing research is because I don't actually know much about these cars whatsoever, but Porsche 911 992 3 litre T Carrera 4S convertible. Yeah, a lot of words in that title, but that's exactly what it is. And it's like the new Porsche 911. It's quite a special thing. It's in crayon grey with a red roof, but we'll talk about that when the car's in front of me. The way this car has come about is I recently announced on my Instagram, big news as well. This is something that I'm massively excited about. I've been planning this for probably years. Been planning this. The car buying shop. We've franchised out the car buying shop, so we're going to be doing franchises across the country. Hopefully, fingers crossed, depending on how well it goes. I've got massive confidence in it. And our first franchisee is a couple of guys in Dunstable, and they've just had this 2019 Porsche 911 come in. So I thought, you know what, I need to get out in this car. It's not something that I normally have on my channel, but it's something that I know a lot of people are going to be interested in. And what I thought was, I've got my draggy box, look at that. It's got rubber bands in that on it as well now. So obviously I'll do the CCD draggy leaderboards, and I reckon, because these cars got some pretty serious stats for a stock car, I reckon that this Porsche could be the quickest thing on my CCD draggy leaderboard. So I think that's my intention. I'm going to go pick it up, go for a little drive, and at the end of the video we're going to do draggy times, alright? We're going to see how quick I can get this thing to do 60. Let's head over to Dunstable and pick up the Porsche.
Now what's the vibe? Is it party time? Wanna move my feet? Wanna drink my wine? Feeling the vibe. We are so lit. Is it me and you now? Let me smoke that vibe. Feeling so fly. Wanna dance with you. Rhythm take.
Do you know what? It ain't too glamorous here actually. There's like bloody building site there, bins there, cars parked everywhere. So I think what I'm gonna do is it's quite zoomed in, isn't it? Let's change locations. Yeah, let's go somewhere that's a little bit nicer. See, I've come to a nice little scenery, yeah, lovely. Look at the background, it's really nice here. Perfect place to film. I used to film here a lot, Dunstable Downs, yeah, right at the top of the Dunstable, so we're nice and high. Look, you can see the gliders and planes are going off in the air. In the background, you've got a tractor, which again sets the scene really nice, but it is noisy here and it's windy as well. So if there is any, you can hear that tractor whirring away in the background, or there's lots of wind coming through the mic, I apologise, but it does look so good parked there, doesn't it? That was the idea. I wanted to get it into a nice location because it just to enhance on how good that car looks. So this car is the latest Porsche 911, yeah? It's a 992 911, so this is as new as they get. It's a 2019 car. It's done 3,000 miles. And when the boys at the car buying shop in Dunstable said to me, Calvin, we just had this car coming, I was like, I need to get over there and get out for a little drive in it. So it's actually the same combination as what Yanni from Yanimize has got. So he recently posted, it's so windy. He recently announced that he'd bought a Porsche 911 Carrera 4S, exactly the same as this car, and it's in crayon with a red roof. And I love that combination, especially with the red calipers. I think that all goes together really nicely. Now, as we come around the back, proper big rear wheels. They're a staggered fitment. At the front we've got, let's have a look, 3, 4, 5, 35 20s at the front, and then at the rear we've got 305 30 21s at the rear. So it's a proper big rear end. The wide arches at the back are wide as anything, and you know I love a car with wide arches. I say that all the time. It's a proper nice bit of character. When you come round to the back, you've got like a red strip light across the back. It looks proper nice at the back. Interior wise, it's dirty in here at the minute because see all this stuff here, yeah? See all that? That's grass, yeah? Do you know where that grass come from? Mr. Tractor Man over there. So when he was cutting the grass just now, I had the roof down and there's like grass flying everywhere. So you can imagine, let me just show you inside. In fact, before I show you inside, let me just show you this little feature quick. Press the unlock button, I love this. Look at that, door handle gold, that is, oh, get it right, Kev. That's it. But do you know why I just done that? Because this is an unbelievably heavy door. Don't underestimate the weight of these cars. I think they weigh about 1,600 kilos, so it's not a lightweight car, but it has got obviously a heavy roof with all the mechanism and the strengthening stuff underneath, and it is a full drive car, so it carries a lot of additional weight, but all for good reasons. Inside we have grass. That's because of the tractor, but forget about, cheers boys. Nice car, mate, nice car. I'm not joking, when I got in this car I was genuinely shocked or just so impressed with the overall finish of this car. It's so nice, and what Porsche seem to do is, a lot of people kind of criticise Porsche for this, but they retain the character of the early 911, which they've been building 911s for 50 odd years now, and a lot of people say, you know what, they all look the bloody same. And to be fair, they don't change them much, but they do just forever improve them. So this one, as you can see, like the seats, they're similar to the seats that you see in the early 911, but the whole package, yeah, the look inside and out, trust me, I've just driven this car 2 miles. It is so good, all right? So if you're thinking about buying one of these cars, if at any time in your life you're thinking about maybe getting your hands on one, don't let that opinion get the better of you. These late Porsche 911s are phenomenally good. What we're going to do now is, obviously you want to see me drive it, didn't you? So I'm going to stop banging on. We want to do draggy times as well. We want to do that at the end of the video. So we're going to jump in, go for a little drive, and then near the end of the video we're going to do a 0-60 draggy time. And I've got a strong feeling, after just doing my little 2 mile journey in this car, I think this is going to smash the VRS tunes stage 2 Golf R that's at the top of the draggy list. So we'll see. All right, let's get out for a drive. Start the engine with this. This is a genius little idea. I love that. Right, let's get it in manual mode to start with. We're in currently, so you've got the drive select button on the steering wheel. It's like a wheel that you spin, and that selects the drive modes that you're in. Right, we'll start just in normal mode, manual, gearbox engaged, and yeah, we'll just have to get a little bit of a feel for it first. But the sat nav, that screen is a joke. It's sort of like, how can I explain that screen? It's like Google Earth, isn't it? I don't know if that comes from Google Earth, but it's like a proper photograph. It's like a drone's following me down the road. It's unbelievable. So you do also get a dual sat nav screen. So the second one just up here next to the driver. That's not currently on because I must have switched it off by accident. But yeah, like the interior, seriously upmarket. You've got this kind of I don't even know how to explain that finish, like a textured finish across the top of the or the whole way across the centre of the dash, and then on all of the buttons you've got that same sort of textured finish just at the tip of the buttons there. The things that I already like that stood out for me is the little engine start switch. Sounds stupid, I love that. The door handles, the way they pop out, little touches like that, they going that extra mile I think is well worth it. The gear stick, yeah, I say gear stick's just like a little toggle that you use to select the gear. Again, it's finished in that sort of whatever you want to call it. I don't know what material it is, but yeah, it's all really nice. It's offering a lot so far. Porsche, as with every other manufacturer in the world, have got this sort of battle at the minute where they're trying to increase the power or the performance of a car, but they can't increase the size of the engine, so they have to add turbos to make up for that loss because of emissions and stuff like that. It's a big battle for it, let's face it. So the Carrera 4S that I have in my mind is the old 997, is that right? No, 996 Carrera 4S, which I think are a great car to buy because they never seem to drop below 20 grand, and they are now beginning to creep upwards from 20 grand. So they're a really nice car, but the reason why that sprang to mind is because that car was a 3.8 naturally aspirated flat 6 engine, and this car is basically the newest version of that car, and this has just got a 3 litre engine, which some people would find disappointing. And again, I know that Porsche do have a little bit of they get a bit of stick for moving forward but seemingly not moving forward, but let me tell you something about this engine. When you accelerate, so this is a 3 litre flat 6 twin turbo engine, which is like it's a good combination, yeah? And when you accelerate, even now in normal mode, it's good. So normal mode is normal throttle response, normal gearbox. There ain't really much excitement, but it's responding well, okay? Now, when you, and I've already done this, so I'm not even going to pretend that I'm going to be shocked with the response of what I'm about to do, but when you turn this wheel to, let me just get rid of that, round from Sport and then over to Sport Plus, the exhaust note changes straight away. You might have subtly noticed that. Gearbox goes into a sports mode, but I'm not really going to use that too much. And the throttle response, I don't know if you can see that through the camera, but it is instant. Now, on my journey over to collecting this car today, I drove my BM, the M135i, which also has 440 bhp, the same power as this car. It's also a 3 litre, it's a single turbo, but a 3 litre engine, turbocharged, same power, yeah? This is slightly heavier, although it is seemingly a small car through most people's eyes. In front of you, it's got some serious presence. It's quite a big car, and it weighs about 1,600 kilos, so it's quite heavy. But this is untuned stock power, and when you put your foot down, the response, I'm not joking, is unreal. It's an 8-speed PDK gearbox, and it is bloody instant. When you flick that pedal, it just rapidly changes. Now, we're also going through a stage where a lot of manufacturers are putting ZF gearboxes ZF gearboxes in their cars, which my BM has a ZF gearbox, which is great from a reliability point of view, but they're a little bit slower. They are a bit slower, and I don't know, I shouldn't really compare it to my BM because this is an incomparable car. Price wise, my BM's worth about 15 grand. This is in the region of 120 to 130,000 pounds, so it's a seriously valuable car. Four-wheel drive, so you do feel confident when you accelerate, but you can see me sort of cringing a little bit because I'm thinking, shit, where's the rear end gonna go? Luckily, it is a four-wheel drive car. A rear-wheel drive one of these must be like, if you bought a rear-wheel drive or you tried driving one hard, it would be a nightmare to drive. So, quick first impression summary. Outside, love the look of it. Interior wise, it is upmarket in high quality, really pristine finish. I love the way this looks on the interior. I love the overall feel, the solidness of the steering, the solidness of even the accelerator pedal. It sounds stupid, but it's kind of hard to press the accelerator pedal, which would almost sound like a bit of a negative, but trust me, it's not. It's a real positive thing. It gives it you're almost getting like a bit more of an effort to get some feedback. I don't know, it sounds weird, doesn't it? The steering's kind of like that as well, and BMWs are like that. It's really German, but it just seems to skip off. So from a driver's point of view, this car offers a hell of a lot. And now one thing with Porsches that have always, I wouldn't say put me off Porsches, I've never had a lot of Porsches in my life because I don't think they offer great value for money. But what they do offer, which is unlike almost every other car brand on the market, is they seem to hold their value so well. And if you buy the right Porsche, like I said to you earlier about the 996 Carrera 4S, it will go up in value. And that's what this brand does offer, like I say, over almost every other brand. So although they don't seem like you've got to spend a lot of money to get a good Porsche nowadays, and it's always been like that in all honesty, but they are seriously special cars. They're kind of in a league of their own. They're not a supercar, they're not a sports car, because they're better than a sports car. They really do sit somewhere in the middle, and they like I say, they do sit in a league of their own. And I can see why so many people are so loyal to that brand. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to my private road, and I'm going to do a 0-60 draggy time. But like I say, I'm feeling quite confident. Throttle response is there. You can hear the engine is obviously behind me right here, so the noise is just there. We've also got a couple of back seats, which are pointless, not even worth talking about because they're tiny. But the overall theatre, the sound, the feel, and the drive of this car is bloody good. So pretty confident that this is gonna be at the top of the CCD leaderboard. Something I haven't mentioned yet is the quoted time to 60 for this car by Porsche with the convertible with the 4S variant is 0-60 in 3.8 seconds. And then bear in mind that's done by them with a professional driver in perfect conditions. So the Golf R does 0-60 in 3.9. That's what I managed to get it to do 60 in. That was in my own conditions with obviously me driving and real world driving. Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see if I can get this thing to 60 quicker than I got the Golf R to 60. Right, let's give it a go. 3, 2, 1. Let's pull over and see what the results were from that launch. Right, so now I've actually seen the result from this, and I'm impressed. But the question is it quicker than a 390 bhp stage tune VRS tuned VW Golf R? And I'm going to answer that now. So let's just quickly talk about the process of getting it off the mark. So we had the traction control off. We used launch mode, which was really nice. It wasn't too fierce. It just took off the mark nicely. And I used a manual gearbox just to flick through the gears myself. All right. And the 0-60 time that I achieved using, I'll cover the bottom half, Draggy app. Yeah, good old Draggy app is. Drum roll, it done 0-60 in 3.59 seconds. So it smashed the Golf R. The Golf R done it in 3.9 seconds. So this is now the quickest car on my CCD draggy leaderboard. I think, honestly, when I've done it, it was effortless. Launch control was literally just 2 feet on the pedal, but a foot on each pedal, let my foot off the brake, and it just pinged off the line. And the gearbox, I think where this car wins over almost definitely any car that I've ever driven, is the gearbox is absolutely perfect. And in fact, the overall drive, the overall feedback and feeling that you get from this car is exactly that. It's perfect. The throttle response, the way it delivers power, the gearbox, the engine, the sound of the engine. A lot of people as well have asked or have mentioned previously that because Porsche have added turbos, that it's kind of killed the whole flat six engine sound. The lower range of Porsche engines are actually 4-cylinder. That's a little bit of a letdown, but like I said earlier as well, they've got to do this to keep up the whole emissions thing. And but this car, this particular car is a flat six, and it sounds like the traditional flat six Porsche engine, just with a little bit of turbo whistle and spool. And I love that. I must admit, I love a little bit of turbo sound. So if you are thinking about getting one, and for whatever reason you think the turbo thing is going to affect the characteristics of the sound and the delivery of the power of the engine, don't let that put you off. Trust me, this car is so good. All right. Yeah, I'm going to end it there. I think I've definitely banged on about this car. This car kind of done it for me. You know, I just walked around the car with the camera in my hand, and everywhere I looked there was just so much I could have spoke about, and it's quite an easy video to film. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you did like the video, hit like. Going back to the whole car buying shop thing, so it's mine and my brother's business. If you are a car trader and you're interested in getting on board with this franchise scheme, email me, contact@thecarbuyingshop.com, and it is just an idea. I want to get a gauge. We're not going to be setting people up overnight, but I want to get a little gauge from you lot, or from any car traders that might be watching, to see if you're interested in getting set up. So if you are interested, ping me an email, and yeah, we'll get it back in touch. All right. So yeah, gonna end the video. Hit like if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new, and I'll see ya in my next video. All right. Bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader, my friend Simon gives me the keys to his Rolls Royce Wraith, and I attempt to do draggy times in it. 3, 2, 1.